Good morning, everyone. Welcome to session 2 of our three-part webinar series looking at AI in marketing localization. Thank you all for joining us today. We have a great session lined up, and I am very excited to dig into today's topic, which is all about AI voiceover and subtitles, how to localize video content at speed. Today, we'll be sharing with you the latest AI solutions for localizing your videos. And I'm also very excited to be joined by two extra special guests who I'll introduce very shortly. But before we dive in, I'm going to share some quick housekeeping bits and also introduce our speakers. So we have, first of all, the session will be recorded. So if you have to leave early, please don't worry, you'll get a copy of the recording in the next few days. There's also going to be a chance for Q&A at the end. So please feel free to use the chat function or the Q&A function and pop any questions in there throughout the webinar. So I'm just going to share my screen to kick things off, and we will then introduce our special guests. Fantastic. Can everyone see my screen? Perfect. I always like to check before I kick these things off. So I'm going to introduce our speakers, and I may as well start with myself, seeing as I'm talking at the moment. I am James, and I'm head of commercial at Comtech Translations. For those of you unfamiliar with Comtech, we are a language localization agency based in the UK, and we've been supporting teams and global brands for over 40 years with global communication. I personally specialize in all things marketing localization, so lots of experience working with video content, and I also work with brands like Aston Martin, Tommy Tippy, Condé Nast, along with many other global B2C and B2B brands, and also their agencies supporting them with their marketing localization needs. When I'm not busy doing that, I am also vice chair of the Association of Translation Companies here in the UK, and with a focus on industry best practice and also organising our many events that we run throughout the year. I'm now going to hand over to our very special guests, Georgia and Mike, who are going to introduce themselves and the company they work for, Voiceover. So, Georgia, over to you.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us. I'm Georgia, and I am the marketing coordinator at Voiceover. Voiceover is an Italian company specializing in AI voices for dubbing and production, so AI voiceovers for video content. And we built a tool, a platform for LSPs to perform AI voiceovers. So we collaborate with Comtech to deliver best quality of AI voice dubbing for their content, meaning e-learning, marketing content, whatever video you need to work and to dub into different languages with multiple features such as pronunciation, emotion, and things like that. So I'm gonna then show you a quick demo of our tool, how it works, and how Comtech is performing their content inside the tool with our help also. And with me it's Mike. Please go ahead, introduce yourself.
Yeah, hello, I'm Mike. Also working for Voiceover. I'm the product manager there. I have been in the localization industry for around 10 years in different roles, starting as a translator, project manager, now more on the software side. And I will be handling the Q&A session at the end today. So whenever you have any questions, we will pick them up in the end. And yeah, looking forward to that.
Thank you so much, both. It's great to have you on board today, and I'm really grateful that you're going to share a little demo with us, how Voiceover works, and show what goes on behind the scenes. Just to reiterate for our audience again, Comtech offer an end-to-end video localization solution for our clients' videos, and when it comes to AI voiceover, the software we work in, our linguists work in, is Revoiceit. So we're going to show you a sneak peek into all the work our linguists do behind the scenes to craft your audio. So let's crack on, shall we? As a recap, in our last session, we looked at the various AI solutions available for written text translation. and also how to put in place the right strategy to make sure you're making the best investment in localization, whether that's human or AI solutions, depending on the level of impact you're looking for and the content requirements, along with budgets and all those fun things. This week, we're going to be looking at this same principles from an AI video perspective. And here is what we're going to cover specifically in this session today. And there are 7 things. So first of all, we're looking at the case for localizing video content using AI. We'll also be looking at what solutions are available and the technologies that power these solutions, along with example use cases, so you can see where AI videos can potentially fit within your workflows. We're going to give you a quick demo of Voiceit, which Georgia and Mike are going to share for us. We're going to share with you our top 5 tips, so you can take these away today. We're of course going to have time for Q&A at the end. And we also have a free gift, 2 free gifts, in fact, for all of our attendees, so stay tuned at the end for that. Sorry, I'm going to try and click on the next slide, but it's not working. Oh, bear with me one moment. I don't know what's happening here. There we go. My computer just froze. As we looked at last week with the written text solutions, before we look at the solutions available, it's important to consider the case for using AI and where it fits, and also why more and more brands are using AI to localize their video content. Here are some quick facts I thought would be useful to share with everyone that firmly show why video is at the top of marketers' agendas. First of all, 89% of businesses are using video in their communications, and 14% have said they'll invest more in video in 2025 than in previous years. Of the brands exploring video, 18% are using AI as part of their video production, so it's already growing really nicely. Automated subtitles are the top use case for AI in video production, but I think we will see AI voiceover top that in the coming years, based on how effective this solution is. We're also seeing a whopping growth in year on year in how many businesses are using video compared to previous years. So you're looking at subtitles as an example. 254% more businesses use subtitles in 2023 than in 2022. And I'd hazard a guess that's grown even more exponentially in the last 2 years since this stat was first released. And finally, which is what we all want to hear, 93% of marketers are reporting strong ROI from video marketing. So it really is one of the most effective channels out there. A few more examples I just want to share with you. So this quick infographic here shows the most common content formats that marketers are using in their campaigns and content. And short form video is very much at the top of that. So we are seeing a lot of marketers go for audiovisual content. As you can see, images are the second most popular format as well. And potentially blogs, which were maybe popular quite a few years ago, they've slipped down a little bit in the channel. So video is really, really at the top of everyone's minds in the marketing sphere. Also, please report is the most ROI positive. So this infographic shows feedback from marketers on where they're getting their most ROI from in terms of marketing approaches. And again, it's no surprise that video, again, closely followed by imagery, things like carousels on social media, so on and so forth, are giving the highest ROI. A couple of quick stats that are worth mentioning as well. These were done by research by our team, and we discovered that caption videos, so when you invest in subtitling, on average, they lift the watch time of videos by 12%. And it's even more exciting when we look at voiceover. So famous chef Jamie Oliver dubbed all of his videos on his website into the languages he needed, and he saw the viewership grow by 3 times the amount by doing that. So there's a huge trend here that shows why video is so important and why localizing videos can get you some really great results in your marketing. I'm going to look at next what solutions are available. But just to kind of set the scene before we kick off, there's a huge benefit in investing in video content from your brand. But as we discussed in our last session, if you're working at scale and you are working to tight deadlines and budgets, traditional human approaches to video localization might not always cut the mustard. While we'd always recommend for certain video types, for example, high profile advertisements, brand critical content, investing in that fully end-to-end human solution, as we would with written text translations, there are lots and lots of use cases for AI subtitles and AI voiceovers. And that's what I want to kind of show you today, not to take away from fully human solutions, but just showing you what is possible with the new AI solutions on the market. So firstly, I'm going to look at AI captioning and subtitling. So what is it, first of all? So AI subtitling uses automated speech recognition, or ASR, along with AI translations, so machine translation, to convert spoken dialogue into captions in other language. It makes content accessible, silent-friendly, and helps you scale video content into something you can use in all of your non-English markets. How does it work? There's 3 key stages. So firstly, the video is transcribed and translated into multiple languages, and being AI, it does it automatically. Subtitles are then synchronized to the speech for accurate timing and readability by professional linguists. And finally, the linguist will also post-edit the translations to ensure brand consistency and quality. Now, here are some examples of ROI from using a AI subtitling approach. Typically, the process is 50% cheaper than the human end-to-end subtitling approach, and production times are typically 2 to 3 times faster. Again, there are lots of different use cases versus human and AI, but in terms of AI, these are some really good examples where AI subtitling can make an impact. So social media videos, brand campaigns, obviously depending on the critical nature of those and the value for your brand. Product launch videos as well, product example demo videos. Interviews, if you've got lots of long form interview content, this could be a great use for AI subtitling. And again, explainer videos, how-to guides as well. So there's some really great stuff you can do with AI subtitling now, and having those subtitles available, as we know, really helps with accessibility for lots of members of your audience. Now let's look at the main event, which is why we're here today, is AI voiceover. So before I hand to Voiceseed to show their demo of Voiceover, I'm just going to give you a quick whistle-stop tour of what AI voiceover is. So essentially, AI voiceover uses AI technology to convert text into natural human-sounding speech. AI voiceover enables brands to scale video production quickly, as there's no need for studio sessions and voice actors. And these are examples of where potentially video content in the past has become cost prohibitive for brands or time prohibitive. If you're looking to launch a video and don't have time to book studios, book voice artists, it can add on quite a little bit of time. And because it's the AI nature, it's quick to update. So if you need to edit and update the audio, the translation, you can do so within the software quite quickly. How does it work? You're going to see this in much more detail very, very soon. But first of all, we essentially take your script. So we can take your original video, we can complete a transcription, and we can provide the translation. While AI translation is available in Voiceit, and it can be used for AI voiceover, for high profile stuff, we would recommend doing a human translation, or at minimum, doing machine translation post-editing of the AI content, just to make sure any things in the audio are fully ironed out and the AI voiceover is the best possible quality it can be. Within the tool, the AI then generates natural sounding voiceover in multiple languages. And what's really exciting is voices can be customized by gender, different accents, age, pitch, speed. And this is essentially all the hard work our linguists do within the software to make sure your voiceover generated by AI is as powerful as possible. Again, very similar ROI to AI subtitling. It's typically 50% cheaper, and production times are 2 to 3 times faster with the use of the software, as opposed to lots of studio bookings, which can take up some time. Again, with VoiceOver, if you're looking at brand critical videos or that you need absolute polish for, you've got preferred voices for your brand, or you're using advertisements, fully human voiceover is still very much viable, but there are absolutely loads of use cases now for AI voiceover. And lots of our clients are really getting on board with this. Georgia mentioned e-learning earlier, which is proving a really, really popular medium for this, along with project videos. But some other stuff where you might consider using AI voiceover is if you've got lots of content. So you have absolutely loads of videos that you need to get translated quickly, or long videos that might be cost prohibitive for translation. That's a really good use case of AI voiceover. If you need to update your videos regularly, so let's say it's a product explainer video that you need to keep tweaking, this again could be a great use case. Another use case, which we're seeing AI voiceover incredibly powerful for, is when you have videos of multiple characters. Again, we see lots of brands create short videos of 5 minutes, and there might be 2 to 3, 4 speakers. Traditionally, you'd have to book 4 voice artists for that, which can be quite expensive and time consuming. AI voiceover cuts all that out completely. Again, speed project launches, it's really effective for fast, high volume, high process projects. And finally, social media videos. That's something we've Comtech have actually used Revoice for our own videos, which you may have seen. So yeah, there's some really, really great use cases now. Right, I think that's enough from me talking, and I think it's time for a bit of fun. So you may have seen on social media in recent months that we've, as I've just mentioned, the Comtech team have been experimenting with voicing our own videos in different languages. And that has been produced by the help of the Voicing team with our professional linguists working in tandem with those. So you might have seen my colleague Emily dubbed in French. You might have seen my colleague Emma become Italian. One that's really seems to have taken off is myself being voiced over in Spanish, or Spanish James, as he's become known. So for the topic of today's demo, Georgia is going to demonstrate to you in Revoice It how Spanish James was born. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen and hand over to Georgia, who's going to give you a tour of Revoice It.
Thank you, James.
Over to you, Georgia.
Yeah, sure. Gonna share my screen now. So this is it with the sound. Let me know if you can see it.
Yeah, all perfect. Thank you very much.
Okay, so this is Revoice It. This, as James was telling you, is a tool for AI dubbing and AI voice production. You have a video and you want to maybe transcribe it, and you want to translate it into different languages, and you can do all within one platform. You have mainly 3 areas of working. The first one is the audio production. So you have an audio content, you just want to create a text to speech. So you have a script and you want to create it, the audio. You have the media dubbing area where you can transcribe your video and then dub it into multiple languages. And then you have a very, very specific for game localization line dubbing area, but we are gonna just focus on the media dubbing here. So we created the James Spanish project. And here you can create more batches. Batches means episodes or of your webinar, of your e-learning video. Once you create your batch, you basically input your video. You can transcribe. You can set the automatic speaker detection. So if you have a video with multiple speakers, Revoice It will detect the number of speakers for you, and it will assign also a voice that is similar to the original. That's what we call the autocasting. If you have the script, you can import that. If you don't have it, you can transcribe within Revoice It, and then a linguist can check if the transcription has been made correctly, and then change it and make all the tweaks necessary. Then you can go to the casting phase. The casting phase is, okay, Revoiced will apply a voice from our library. We have kind of 100 voices, female and male, from young to senior. And then you can just by clicking on the voice, you can tweak it and you can change it. So you just listen to the samples and decide which one is the best for James. And then you can go to the language asset. So here you can add languages pretty easily. You can work with machine translation, but of course, for this kind of content, it is required to have a good adaptation, because it's not just a matter of translating text, it's also an audio thing. So linguists and native speaker can be the one to actually work on the correct adaptation from one language to another and make sure that the pronunciation and the quality, the result of the narration is good enough for your content. So that's why we created this specifically for language service providers and for their workflow. Once you created your assets, you uploaded everything, and you made the adaptation, the translation, here is what you got. This is the preview page. You have here, James, the video that we uploaded. You have the source audio here and the translated ones in audio chunks. This is from English to Spanish. And you can see here that some words are highlighted. We made this before, of course, we created this demo to showcase what you can do. You can, first of all, listen to the original one and listen to the target audio generated. You can work on the pronunciation. So if you can see here, I said the pronunciation phonemized in English because James Brown, of course, is an English name, but I wanted to be pronounced with a little Spanish accent. So since the speaker should be Spanish, I wanted not to pronounce it too much British. It would sounds a little bit not so good. So with the Spanish accent would be better. Or, for example, Comtech, if you want to pronounce it correctly, you have to choose the correct phonemization. And maybe for translation, you can also set the IPA symbols. So this is just for the sake of the demo, showing you that you can actually tweak the pronunciation within Revoices, copying and paste the IPA symbols and tweaking the accent, for example, or tweaking some phonemes in order to get the perfect pronunciation that you deserve. What you can do else, you can get multiple generation. So you can work on exactly like you are in a studio and you tell the actor, okay, give me another take. I want a different prosody. So you just click on generate take and see change. And so the models perform it in a different way. Same style, same emotion, same pronunciation, but just a little bit different. You can then work on a temperate, making it faster or slower, depending, of course, on the time constraints that you have. And then you can work on powerful features that is the emotion. So we set 8 core emotion with 3 level of intensity. So depending on the content, you can tweak each line with a different emotion. We decided that for this content, a pleasure low, so meaning it's a narration with a little bit of pleasure inside because it's a marketing content, so it should be very appealing. It would be perfect for this reason to put pleasure low. Of course, you can tweak it. And there is also one more emotion that it's called the full, and we call it the full conditioning. So with very good quality audio on the source audio, you can set the full conditioning, meaning that Revoiced would apply the same conditioning from the source to the target automatically. So the emotion that is detected in the source will be automatically set in the target one. So this is very, very, very quick demo, but just to showcase what we could do here, I just click play, and this is James Spanish.
Muy bien. Buenos días a todos. Gracias por acompañarnos y bienvenidos a nuestro seminario web, Desarrollar colaboraciones con clientes a nivel local e internacional con un servicio al cliente excelente. Soy James Brown. Voy a ser vuestro anfitrión. Hoy tenemos una sesión muy interesante. Antes de empezar y entrar en materia, voy a comentar algunos aspectos organizativos y presentar a nuestros excelentes ponentes de hoy. Primero, un par de puntos rápidos.
So this is just a quick sample of what we could do. You can also work on the timeline. So you can work just on the audio part, and you can move the audio chunks to better align with the source. You can also work like this, so you can see the starting point and the ending point, and so you can move the chunks in order to better synchronize with the audio. We can work here only on audio part, so it's not a lip syncing thing, but of course you can achieve very good results by just moving and adapting correctly the text. Adaptation is really important when it comes to AI dubbing, because it's not just you put a translation and you click a button. That's why linguists are the best people for us to work with this kind of tools, because they know the language and they can adapt correctly the translation for an audio purpose. So this is basically what Comtech has been done for their video, and I'm pretty sure that I hope that you liked it. And of course, there are more and more features here, but of course, we don't have much time to go deeper in the tool. But we made this for localization purposes.
Thank you so much, Georgia. That was a really awesome demo, and I think it's really nice to see how it all comes to life and just showcase excellent technology partners like yourselves, and also all the hard work that goes on behind the scenes with our linguists to use your software to really make sure the videos are as high quality as possible. So thank you so much for sharing that. I just want to go through a couple more slides very quickly, so I'm just going to reshare my screen. Bear with me 2 seconds. There we go. So Georgia just mentioned a really important point, that AI is really crucial with the involvement of linguists. I just wanted to show you why that is so important. So professional linguists are still, I'm just going to check my screen is the right one is sharing.
I think it's pretty good.
There we go. Perfect. So 6 reasons why AI still needs a linguist. So first of all, professional linguists fix much more than mistakes. Here's how they are involved in the process. So they pre-edit the source content, ready for the AI to translate. They train the AI on your terms and any nuances of the text. They match the audio to the visual, editing the text so it's sounds as natural as possible, as Georgia mentioned. They also check pronunciation issues. They make sure that they correct the AI translation where needed, because AI can struggle with things like acronyms or words that have multiple meanings. So that's why those linguist checks are so important. And they also work to protect your brand reputation and trust globally. As with any AI solution, regardless of its text, video, anything with copywriting, syncing it into AI and just pressing go without any editing is never the best solution. So it's always great to have linguists on board to make sure your brand reputation is retained. So before we finish, I just want to go through 5 final things, and my screen has once again frozen, which is fantastic. There we go. So our 5 top takeaways for this session. So first of all, make sure you prepare your video for localization. It's an investment in time, but it always pays off in the end. Secondly, pay attention to accents. As mentioned, audio recognition can struggle with strong regional accents, and it can also struggle with colloquial language as well in the video. So just be mindful of that. It might need more linguist adaptation. Don't skimp on time to invest in your AI setup, because this will be the biggest driver of success. making sure that terminology is correct. There's a great glossary function that works with VoiceIt as well. Making sure that your terminology is aligned, you've got the right style and tone for your audio, all established. All these things, getting these things sorted up front, mean you can get the real great time savers in the future. And finally, an AI tool is only as good as linguists behind it. So make sure that human touch is included at all times. So before we go to the Q&A, I just wanted to kind of give you a quick freebie. So we have 2 free things for you today. If you would like to send the word freebie either in the chat or to my email, which is jbrown@comtechtranslations.com, you can essentially receive 2 things. You first of all get a full PDF guide on how to turbocharge marketing translation using AI. And that covers all the things we've looked at today, including AI voiceover and subtitling, as well as last month's session, which looked all at text translation. And we're also offering a free 1-month trial to Pronto Lite. So Pronto, as we discussed in the last session, is Comtech's AI self-service translation tool. Subscriptions typically start at $375 per month, and we're offering a free 1-month trial. So if you are interested in both of these things or just one of them, please comment freebie in the chat or send me via email and I will get these organized for you. So that is everything for today. Do we have any questions from the audience?
Don't be shy.
Yeah, please don't be shy. We love questions. Anything you'd like to know about AI voiceover or translation, now is your time. Oh, we have someone wanting a freebie. Thank you very much, Simon. I will ensure that comes across to you as soon as possible. Any final comments from yourselves, Georgia and Mike, while we wait to see if we've got any questions at all?
Yeah, I think maybe one last comment. So right now we have been working mostly with our library voices, right? And like this is like the focus that we have. But sometimes we also clone voices, you know, for some purposes, so that maybe your actor in Spanish sounds the same as in English and in German and in Italian. Of course, this process is a little bit more, you know, more demanding, and of course we can only do it with a proper legal framework, right? So we cannot just clone any voice. So but there are definitely also use cases where, you know, we can have this brand consistency even among across languages. So if this might also be a topic that is interesting to you, feel free to reach out to us, and yeah, we can also do something in that sphere.
Fantastic. Thank you, Mike. Well, I don't think we have any more questions in the chat, so I think we're oh, we do have a question. I think it's for you, Mike, just on what you've just said. So from Johan, how large of a sample would you need to clone a voice?
Well, it always depends how good the clone has to be. So there's like our basic voice cloning, which we can do for like 30 seconds of text. That's especially well if, you know, you don't have a lot of text that you actually need to voice, you know, also for social media posts that are short. If you have like longer content that need to be higher quality, then our cloning mechanism would be different, and then we would look more into like half an hour of audio that we would need to move forward, because of course the more data we have, the better the model performs in the end.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Mike. Well, I think it's time to wrap up. Thank you, Johan, for your question, and Simon for your comment. Real huge thanks to Georgia and Mike for being here today. We really, really appreciate your time. And yeah, just thank you for showcasing what a great tool VoiceIt is. Really great to have you on board. As mentioned, please get in touch with the word freebie if you would like a free copy of our guide or a Pronto subscription for a month. We'll be back with our 3rd session next month in November, where we're looking at continuous localization, where we're looking at how AI and integrations between platforms such as CMS systems, websites, PIMs, all the exciting fancy systems our clients use, can link with a translation platform to automate the translation process and save lots of time for our customers. So we'll be back with details of that very shortly. Have a great day, everyone. And yeah, thank you all for your time. Take care, everybody.
Thank you for joining.
Thank you. Thanks for joining.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Ciao,
Goodbye.
thank you. Goodbye.